What's up everybody, this is Danny and I've been using the Sony Bravia XR X95K for a couple of months now, and today I've partnered with Sony to help you to get the most out of your Sony TVs, including the X95K. I want to share with you the smart features that I use most on Sony TVs, and I've learned a lot along the way, so I'm going to share some of those shortcuts with you today, and there might even be a few that you may not know about. So let's not waste any time and let's just jump right in. So far, I've been loving my experience with the Sony Bravia XR X95K. It's Sony's first mini LED TV, and I'm really impressed because it's one of the most accurate panels that I've used in terms of color. You get impressive black levels and excellent motion, especially with sports and fast-moving content. And it has amazing shadow detail. You don't get those crushed shadows in the dark scenes which plague other TVs. And it's one of the most balanced TV sets that I've used in a long time. And trust me, not all processing is equal when it comes to televisions. The Cognitive Processor XR does a fantastic job of replicating bright and beautiful colors with great dynamic range, so I have no regrets going with this as my main TV. The reason why I went with this TV is because I get a lot of sunlight in here, and this TV is definitely bright, one of the best things about it. And it also has an anti-reflective coating on it, which some of you may not know about. So if you have a lot of windows like I do and suffer from screen glare, then this is a TV that you want to look into. The Sony Bravia XR X95K uses Google TV, so if you're a Google Power user, you have so many smart features that you can take advantage of. But even if you are not, the home screen does a great job of populating and suggesting things that you want to watch. There's even a dedicated row here to conveniently continue watching the content that you need to catch up on. But if you want to customize what's being suggested, just quick scroll to the bottom by holding the down button on the remote, and you will see Manage Services at the very bottom, and then you can choose exactly what gets suggested on your home screen. But if you have kids like I do, then you might not want all of this kids content to clutter up your home screen like you see here. So this is what you do. You can access your account on the top right corner by clicking through, or here's a much faster shortcut. Just hold the home button for a second on the remote and it will pop up for you. Click on Add Account, and there is the magic right here, Add a Kid Profile, and it will step you through the entire process. And from here, you can personalize content for them so you don't have to worry about them watching things that they're not supposed to be watching. And you can reclaim your home screen free of cartoons. So parents, this is a major win. You can set watch limits and have full control over what they are watching, and even the interface changes with the kids theme to make it easier for them to navigate. And even if you see something populate that you don't want them to watch, just tap and hold on that show and you can hide the content so it'll never show up again. But here's another tip for you. If you don't want any of these recommendations at all, just go back into the settings, jump into accounts and sign in, and go down here until you see apps only mode. And once that is on, you will only get the apps listed here if that's what you want. So you have choices. For those of you that follow me, you know that I'm big into smart home, so having the Google Assistant built in is great. You can access it right here from the new simplified remote and control your entire smart home with it. So for instance, I can say, turn on living room lights. I can start my robot vacuum, control my temperature on my smart thermostat, turn on outdoor lighting, you name it. If it's connected with Google, I can do it right from the remote. But did you know that you could do all of this without the remote and completely hands-free? If you have a Sony X95K or other compatible models with a built-in microphone, check the back of the TV right here, flip on that switch, and now you can have access to the Google Assistant completely hands-free. How cool is that? If you use the Nest Hello doorbell and their security cameras like I do, you can actually view them right from your TV. All you have to do is say, show me backyard pool. The reason why that is because I have a garage apartment with a Nest Hello back there. Backyard pool on living room TV. Bam. This is especially awesome for me when I need to see what's going on at the front door while in my office on my Sony Bravia XR A95K OLED. If I need to see what my kids are doing in another room, I can do that. So I use this often. I find it really convenient. Another great way to use Google Assistant is for search instead of looking for apps and scrolling through a ton of TV shows, just let Google do it. So let's say I want to watch the original Spider-Man on Netflix. Watch Spider-Man on Netflix. Let Google do its thing. And boom, look at that. If you have this TV, then obviously you're a fan of movies, but do not skip on this app right here, Bravia Core. Trust me, this is not just a forgettable app, there's some real power here. It's not that Netflix and other streaming services don't look good in HDR and Dolby Vision, but the quality here is on another level with Bravia Core. Most streaming services stream below 20 megabits per second, where Bravia Core with Pure Stream can go up to 80 megabits per second, so you can definitely tell a quality difference. While these are Sony Pictures Entertainment titles, a lot of these are in IMAX Enhanced as well, so you can see that in picture settings, and the audio quality is fantastic as well. What's great is you get 10 free movies when you sign up, and there's unlimited streaming on so many more movies, so don't skip out on this. Watch Spider-Man No Way Home on Bravia Core. You will not regret it. Another thing to consider on the Bravia XR X95K is this, the Bravia Cam. This is sold separately and it sits on top of the TV, nice and compact. This is especially handy for video calls. There is nothing like talking to someone from a 75-inch TV. I've been using this on Google Meet and it's pretty awesome. There is a built-in microphone and it sounds good on the other end. And if you want to just turn this off physically, there's a switch at the top so you can do that easily. On the Bravia XR models, the Bravia Cam can sense where you are in the room and it can help the TV adjust picture quality and sound depending on where you're sitting. This is called Ambient Optimization Pro. So if I'm sitting at an angle, it can beam the audio in my direction to help the voices and dialogue on movies to sound clearer. It may be subtle, but it's pretty cool. For my kids, I love the proximity alert feature. I'm not sure why my kids like to watch TV this close up, but I always have to tell them to scoot back constantly. But the Bravia Cam takes care of that for me. Just a few seconds after they get too close, a warning pops up on the TV, and then a huge notification comes on the TV blocking what they're watching, so they automatically scoot back to get the notification to disappear. Now Sony, this is genius. There are a few more features coming soon, like hand gestures to control the TV and auto power saving mode if it detects no one in the room. It dims the screen automatically, so I'm looking forward to those features when they hit. If you're a gamer, then pay attention because this TV is perfect for the PlayStation 5. When you connect your PS5, it will automatically detect it and give you the best settings without you doing anything. This is called Auto Picture Mode. This will give you all of the great video game features like faster response times, auto tone mapping for HDR, and when you go back to watching movies, it will automatically switch back so you don't even have to think about it. The X95K has HDMI 2.1, which means it supports 4K 120Hz, low auto latency mode, and variable refresh rate or VRR. This means that the TV will automatically adapt to the frame rate of the game by adjusting the refresh rate and picture quality to avoid stuttering and give you smoother gameplay. So the PS5 and this TV is a killer combo. Last but not least, let's not forget about AirPlay 2 support. It's not just Sony smartphones running on Android that will work perfectly with Sony smart TVs. With AirPlay 2, I can use all of my Apple products to share videos and pictures with no problem. It just shows up right here on my iPhone, and you will have to pair it with the code initially, but it's really easy. So this is convenient. This works with MacBooks and iPads as well, so you can even mirror your laptop display just like that. So cool. I know I said I was going to end this, but I want to share some tips and tricks with you that I learned along the way that I wish I would have known when I first started using Sony TVs. Watch these tips and tricks, and I'm going to get you to power user status real quick. First, let's do some remote shortcuts. If for some reason you want to restart the TV, don't unplug it and plug it back in. Just hold down the power button and you will see the option to restart. Next, the TV button. This can be customized to open any input on the TV. You go to Settings, Channels and Inputs, and then go into the TV button shortcut. So if I want this to switch automatically to the PS5 on HDMI 2 by hitting the TV button on the remote, I can customize that right here. One last thing with the remote, if you have a Sony Bravia XR A95K OLED TV, with this remote there's a super cool feature on it because it has a built-in speaker on the back. If you ever lose your remote, you can have it make a sound by hitting a button on the TV, or just ask Google Assistant to find your remote, and here's what it sounds like. If you turn off the TV and turn it back on, it defaults back to the home screen, and for most people that's okay. But if you wanted to open back up to the last app that you had open before you turned it off, go into the Quick Settings tab and hit Power Off Behavior right here, and then you can choose Last Input. If there are apps that you don't want on the home screen and you want to customize it, go all the way to the end and you will get to your apps menu. Just press the middle button and hold for a second and you will get the option to move, and then you can rearrange them however you want. And then you can do the exact same thing here on the home screen. Let's say that you're watching more Bravia Core, you can press and hold it and move it to the front. Next is the quick settings you get to by hitting the settings button. There are a ton of options here, so it can get overwhelming. But if you want to get rid of some of them or add some more, you go all the way to the end and hit edit from here. You can uncheck all the ones that you don't want to use or click on the ones that are not in this menu. If you want to rearrange them, just use the same exact method as the apps. Press and hold and you will get an option to move and really make the quick settings your own. Last one is you don't have to wait for your TV to go into ambient mode. If you want to go there right away, just hit the back button on the remote and it will take you there, and you can cycle through all of them just by clicking over, and then once you find the one that you like, you can stop there. You can choose what shows up in the ambient mode by going into the settings under system. There is an ambient mode tab and you have a lot of choices here, so have fun. There are so many more to show you, so if you want me to do a dedicated video on some tips and tricks on Sony TVs, I can definitely do that, but I thought those are the ones that were the most important. There are so many smart features on Sony TVs, it's hard to show them all in one video. Sony televisions have come a long way and I like the direction that they're going in, so thumbs up if you think the same, and I will see you in the next one.